Seems like holding this is working.
Mic check, mic check.
It's like I have a light. Yeah. Click. Forward. Great. Cool. Go, go.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Heintz Delany. I am an English student here at UBalt, of course. My presentation is on a puzzle book I designed in a class last semester that's designed to make the experience of visiting the Walters Art Museum more engaging, specifically for high schoolers. And you can see there, that's the cover art, and these are some like pages within the book. Overview, I'll go over the background, kind of what the book is and how it's formatted, and then individual components like the story and different types of puzzles and questions. So, project background. Dr. Delany, who normally teaches Arts 201, the Arts and Culture course, she received a special grant from Baltimore City Schools that gave her a good amount of money to kind of design these puzzle books to incentivize Baltimore high school students to come visit the Walters Art Museum and explore the place. So the bulk of the class was focused just around designing like puzzle books. There were 20 people who were divided into 4 groups. Each person made a book specifically focused on like one section of the museum, be it like, I don't know, the Roman section or the Chamber of Wonders, which is kind of a downstairs section with the rug. My group decided to do the Islamic world section in the Asian Art Gallery, and we specifically did it because a few members of my group really liked like this rifle. They thought it was cool. I don't know. It's the rifle of Sultan Mahmud II. So the basic layout for the book, it's composed of 44 questions and little puzzles that are connected to real objects inside the Islamic Art Gallery. It's designed for 4 to 5 players, but could easily be played as a 1 or 2 person experience. Each person kind of has a little different role that correlates to like a different type of question. You can kind of see them laid out here. There's an ongoing, very brief story that links objects and puzzles together. And in general, like, there's a big aesthetic component to this, as maybe you'll notice. We really wanted to emphasize that this is from the Islamic world section. So we went out of our way to kind of go on Pinterest and find like authentic like Ottoman documents and stuff, or, you know, like imagery from that part of the world to make it look better. And the final project was 52 pages. The story, which kind of, so the story was a series of diary entries about a love affair between an Ottoman sultan and a fictional heroine that we made up. There's also a framing narrative of like someone breaking it, of her great-granddaughter breaking into the Walters Art Gallery, hence the Catwoman imagery. And again, the story and the puzzle are all directly connected to real items in the gallery, like the rifle or, I don't know, sword on the wall or something. And it's aimed to be digestible to high schoolers, hence why you can see the left thing here is like a diary entry. We aim to make it really short and sweet and just kind of something you could go through in like 30 seconds, and the comic book imagery as well. The detective puzzles were kind of the biggest, most classic style of puzzle you'd see in the book. These were like your ciphers, your riddles. They could also be a crossword or something like that. Here's an example of one. It's like a cipher. You can imagine. You just kind of look at the box and look down here and look at the symbols, and eventually it will spell out like amulet box. Dr. Delany also encouraged us to make use of like external objects in different senses. So we had some puzzles that used like invisible ink where you had to shine a light on it, or like a scratch and sniff sticker. This section was the symbol sleuth section, and essentially There were a series of questions that were just essentially tied to an image on this page that was located at the front of the book. And again, we tried to do aesthetically and thematically connected to like the Islamic world. These are some examples. You might get a question where it's like, this symbol offers blank from evil, and the answer is like protection. Or people often scoffed at the decadence of Ottoman jewelry, considering it a symbol of vanity. Crime scene analyst was another style of question. This was literally like a look around the room question. One is highlighted, one is circled there. And the idea was literally you kind of solve your first puzzle. You realize, oh, we're talking about this thing on the wall. And so then to kind of encourage players to farther explore that section of the gallery, there'd literally be a question where it's like, the Sultan surely needs protection from all his fangirls. Maybe he could block it off with the nearby blank item. And the nearby blank item is like a shield. And the idea of the project in general was just to like encourage interactivity in museums and get people to move and look around and not just kind of, stare off into space. So this was just another way to encourage that. Evidence librarian section. This was the like reading question. The Walters Art Gallery, of course, has a huge catalog of items with object descriptions. These questions centered around those descriptions. They encouraged players to like look at it and read, learn a little bit about it. Dr. Zelany's teaching assistant, Will, also made kind of an independent companion catalog where we copied the descriptions from the Walters Gallery, but just into our own like Canva and booklet form, just in case like the Walters descriptions changed or they got rid of an object or something. There's the sketch artist category of question, which was, the redraw the item question. Again, just trying to make you spend more time in the gallery, pay attention, be more active. This was kind of our sketch artist like template page. We did the little like Middle Eastern style tea set down there and just tried to make it look fun. This was the entire team. Of course, the class lead was Dr. Rachel Zelany and her wonderful assistant, Will Francois. I kind of served as like, project lead for my group, and my wife helped quite a lot with kind of overall like finding designs for background pages and stuff. So shout outs to her. She's great. And then of course, everyone in the group, came up with puzzles and chose their objects independently. Dashira Gamar, Anahi, and Asanye, all wonderful people. And thank you very much for listening. There's a full Canva link down at the bottom so you can see the whole thing in its entirety.
That was the most deadpan shout out to a spouse I've ever heard. I loved it.
Hello. I was wondering, this is great. I was wondering if you were able to accompany any high school teams and see them use your game in action.
We were not. We did play test the book, and that's something I do wonder about because this was a fairly good success with like Sarah D, Dr. Z's class, but I don't know how it's turned out. I think it was geared to work like during the summer. I think it's the kind of summer thing coming up. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't really seen the project in its final form. We did make, we like physically constructed like booklets at the end of class, but I think Dr. Zelany is still kind of finalizing like the way she actually wants it to be printed.
I know that she has actually tested it with at least one high school class because it wasn't this one, but I went to the Walters and tested it live before she did it with a class. So there is at least one class that's done one of these before. And I thought it was fun, which is a surprise to me because as I told Heintz in an email, I kind of hate these, but I thought it was fun.
I guess, Mike, when you designed the book in the
Yes.
For creative purposes, we thought it was better to just kind of, I don't know, go with the vibe of the story rather than like staying true to historical authenticity. Like, for example, the diary entries, they're like a love story, you know. In real life, the guy had like a limp, and you know that kind of like or whatever. Yeah.
The one I did involved like a phantasm murderess running in and out of paintings and stuff. They were very creative, very, very creative. Any other questions for Heintz?
All right.
You give these a shot. The Walters seems like they really want to like actually use them in real life. So they might be there the next time you go to the Walters to like use. It was wild. Oh yeah, one more question. Okay. Then we're gonna have a short break before our last block of presenters.
This is a fun question for you, Heintz. Congratulations on your upcoming graduation.
Thanks.
We took an honors class with Heintz, so we're good friends. So this one is a fun one for you since you're going to the military. Will you use some of those little things we made, like the clues and the puzzles and stuff like that? Will you use that in the military?
Like in the Navy.
Fun
It's
question.
relevant to,
Is that in the Navy?
you know, it's good to like complete things and work with other people on some skills that's universal. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm sure it'll make me much better.
Skills are universal. Puzzle books at the Walters, maybe not. Okay, we're gonna take a short kind of like, what time is it, somebody? I don't know, Mike. Great, we're gonna take a short 5-minute break till 2 o'clock, at which time we will start the last block of 4 presentations. We're gonna end on time for once. Amazing.